What is up, guys? Welcome back to Overspray. Well, today is a few days after I painted the hood. Now, as you guys can see, the bottom is actually painted. That video will be coming out pretty soon as well, so I can show you guys basically how I painted the bottom section and then how I painted the top. But unfortunately, I loaded the top video first, and then I haven't posted the bottom section out yet. So anyways, but that's not what this video is going to be about. As you guys know, with this most recent video for the how to paint a hood video, got a lot of questions from you guys. So this video is basically just running through my setup, how I paint parts in a garage, how I get the results that I get, and what kind of results you should expect from a garage. Okay, so first let's go ahead and run down to let's do a rundown on the compressor. You guys have a lot of questions about the compressor, what guns I use, and can you run some of these high-end spray guns with such a small air compressor. Also maybe some filtration questions if you guys have some filtration comments. And lastly, like I said, what kind of expectations you could expect from a garage paint job. Am I a professional? No, I am not a professional. I am a master mechanic by trade, or that's my occupation. And I got into painting because I basically already had all the tools I needed. All I needed to do was buy a spray gun and start spraying. It's been I've been painting about 3 years. No, sorry, 5 years. I've been painting about 5 years now. And honestly, I get pretty decent results. I'm not gonna say they're show-stopping results. It's this car, for one, it's not a show car. And if I wanted to show car results, I probably would have cut and buff. So anyways, let me go ahead and walk you through my setup and show you what I use, and hopefully you guys can use similar, or at least give you some ideas of what you can do to paint with the smaller air compressor. And yeah, so hopefully that just answers a bunch of your guys' questions. Alrighty, so we get to the heart of painting. What do I have? What kind of compressor do I use? Well, as you guys can see, I have a 30-gallon Cobalt purchased by Lowe's. The CFM is 5.3 at 90 psi and 6.2 at 40 psi. So yeah, not the greatest damn compressor, right? But I am forced to use a 110 air compressor because I am in a small garage, and I'm renting, so technically I'm not, I can't have like a 220 60-gallon or 80-gallon air compressor. So this is what I have in a small garage. Okay, and can you run high-end guns? So as you guys can see, I have quite a few high-end guns, SATA, DeVilbiss, and then some cheapos, Harbor Freight, and fake GTI Pro Light, which I actually have a review for this one. I will be doing another video for you guys, showing you guys the results of what I got with the fake. Let's just say it wasn't that disappointing. So anyways, yeah, do I run high-end guns? Yes, I do, on a small air compressor. Do I run out of air? Most of you guys ask me, hey, how do you run some of these high-end spray guns with such a small air compressor? Don't you run out of air? To be honest, yes and no. For me, since I'm painting in a garage, I tend to paint only parts, okay? So I paint a bumper, rear bumper, front bumper, fenders, anything like that. Honestly, I could pump out some killer paint jobs if I'm painting parts, okay? And I can make it look just as good as a professional shop. When I do struggle for air, it's typically larger parts like the hood, okay? That's when I do struggle with lack of air, because obviously the air compressor is, you know, such a small scale and low CFM. So in that sense, yes, I do run out of air on larger parts, especially with HVLP spray guns. Okay, you guys could see this is my primer gun. Oh, sorry, I know the camera's not focusing. HVLP guns. Yeah, the compressor will run out of air very, very quickly with HVLP guns. Not as much with the HTE guns. So yeah, so the answer to your question is yes, I do run out of air, but only on larger parts like a hood. Sometimes you will see that, you know, maybe the orange peel is not as consistent because you are running a little bit lower, or you are running low on air. So sometimes your orange peel will be like super smooth on one section, and then as you're running out of air, you might have a little bit more orange peel, you know, on the other side or whatever. How to mitigate that? Usually you'll let, what I like to do first of all is let the air compressor fully fill up with air until it stops running, and then go ahead and shoot my coat. Okay, it is going to turn on, but you have enough air to be able to at least get one coat. And then by the time your flash off time and all that, the compressor should be full up again, and then you could run another coat. That's more typically with clear. With base, well, kind of the same thing with base, really. I'll let the air compressor kind of fill itself up. But yeah, for the most part, I have no trouble with smaller parts. I can get some pretty killer jobs with, you know, painting small parts with these higher end guns. So that's not an issue. The only real issue that I really had not too long ago was filtration. So running out of the air compressor, it runs into a water trap. So that is the kind of like the first line of defense. But really, if you only have that, you're still gonna get water in your air lines. So I also, as you guys can see, I plumbed a one of those quick connect. Oh, actually, it's right up there. You can still see the box. So let me show you real quick what I got. So this is what it's called. It's called a Rapid Air Home Garage Kit. And it's basically just an airline kit. Pretty cheap. I think I paid like maybe $100 or something for it. Maybe less. And it came with, obviously you can still see there's a bunch of hose left. And another little air block and stuff. But anyway, so what I did was I ran it around, and what I was originally using was the Harbor Freight filtration system. Now, don't get me wrong, although it is Harbor Freight, it works really good. But the only problem is it's very small, and what happens is the beads change color very, very quickly. So you would either have to run a longer hose with like drain valves and stuff like that, or just be changing this thing every paint job. And that's obviously not what I wanted. So as you guys could see, I ended up upgrading to a motor guard. It's called a submicronic compressed air filter. Oh, sorry, I didn't get that in the shot. Submicronic compressed air filter, M60. And that's basically my filtration system, not much. And then once it runs into the reel, at the end of the reel, I'll usually throw in, where's my, here you go, my regulator. I'll usually throw in, this is actually a DeVilbiss filter. There's cheaper ones out there, and there's all sorts of different styles. But yeah, this is just cheap insurance to make sure I don't get a little bit of water onto the panel. And so far, this setup has worked really, really well. And before, I used to get some fisheyes here and there, especially on bigger jobs. And now, yeah, 0 fisheyes so far. So that's pretty cool. Oh yeah, bonus feature. Guess what I did? Look at this boo-boo. So me and my neighbor were actually installing the hood, and you know, I was trying to adjust it to get the gaps right and all that, and I accidentally left the hood prop like not fully like sitting down or whatnot into the engine bay, and I went to go close the hood, and yeah, the freaking stupid hood prop totally just gouged the paint on the bottom there and totally messed it up. You could see that. I'll probably just throw some touch up, not a big deal, but as you guys could see, it, you know, it did a pretty good job on the bottom. Not the greatest finish as far as like the flat ones go. It's probably like a close to an OEM, but I'm happy with it, to be honest, and that really exceeded my expectation, you know, considering the gun that I used. Hint, hint. But so yeah, so let me close the hood real quick, and I'll show you what kind of expectations you can expect from a home garage paint job. All right, a lot of you guys, or at least not a lot of you guys, but a lot of people on YouTube, it's like they criticize people, you know, like, oh my god, look at that finish, it's full of orange peel, you know, and it's like, dude, I'm painting in a garage. Like, you know, or, you know, it's any little thing. It's just like, oh, you're not a real painter. Look at that orange peel. You know, I guess that identifies people as either being a good painter or not, because depending on the orange peel that you got, you know, or trash in your paint job. They're like, oh my god, look at all that trash. You know what? It happens to everybody, whether you're a professional or not. It's going to happen to everybody. So let me show you some realistic results that you guys can get in a home garage paint job. Yes, I am using higher end guns, but you can still get this with even cheaper guns. So let me close the hood real quick, and I'll show you what kind of results you can expect from a garage paint job. Alrighty, so I closed the hood. These are realistic results. You know what? Let me zoom in real quick so you guys can really get an idea of what the orange peel looks like on here. You can see there's a bit of orange peel on it. See that? You can see it on the reflection of the light. But you know what? That is a realistic result. You can see a bunch of trash. Let's see if I could pick up the trash. You can see these little specks right here, and they're all over, you know, and I could feel them with my finger. You can hear that. Okay, so yeah, they're all over. It's not silicone pop. It's just trash. You know, you can hear it. So so those are some realistic results that you can get from a garage paint job. Are you gonna get some orange peel? Yeah, you are gonna get some orange peel. You sometimes will get inconsistent orange peel as well, depending on the gun that you're using and the air compressor. If you use like a cheap spray gun, like oh, here's an example. If you use a purple spray gun, I can get decent results with these. Okay, I wouldn't say they're like the absolute best. With this one, my air compressor like completely struggles with this gun. This gun uses a ton of air, even though they say it only uses 9 CFM. Bull crap. My air compressor, man, it like won't stop running because this thing uses a whole lot of air, and it does better with higher pressure, like over 35 psi. It just seems to work better. Also, inconsistent airflow. Sometimes what I'll notice is, you know, as I'm painting, I'll get really crappy orange peel in one section and then smooth on the other, and it's not the air compressor, it's the actual gun. Somehow, some way, internally, this thing just doesn't regulate the air. correctly. So that is a major issue with this one. That's why I don't recommend these guns, but if this is all you can get, just get it and, you know, put some paint on it. But, or put some paint on your project. But getting back to the subject at hand, my air compressor, yes, does struggle with some of the paint guns that I have, obviously because they're higher end. So my air compressor, like I said, only puts out about, what, 6.2 CFM. With like a Techno Pro Light, you're talking, this gun uses about 9 to about 12 CFM, depending on the air cap you are using. This particular air cap uses about 9 to 12 CFM or something like that. If you're using the HVLP cap, I think it jumps up to like, I think 15 or something like that. I'm not sure. So yeah, so right then and there, your gun is gonna flow more than your actual air compressor. But like I said, if you're painting small parts with these kinds of guns, you know, a Tecna or a SATA or whatever it is you're painting with, or you're using, and depending on the size of the panel that you are painting, you can still get really badass results. When it comes to bigger panels, like let's say I'm painting a hood, yeah, I didn't get quite as good of a finish with the hood as I could have with like the bumper. Like honestly, the way this front bumper came out, I probably wouldn't have to color sand and buff if I didn't get trash in it. Like that's how good it came out. And like honestly, like it was a killer job. But with the hood, I ended up getting a little bit more orange peel. Just because it's a bigger hood, you're using a lot more air, a lot more material, and yeah, your air compressor is going to struggle. I mean, that's just it, you know, unless you're using an LVLP gun. And personally, for me, I don't like them. But if you can use one for your small air compressor, it might render a little bit better results, just because you're not running out of air, or at least more consistent results. But for me, this is good for me. Like this is a realistic result. You know, a little bit of orange peel, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so yeah, am I a professional painter? No. Do I like to paint? Yes. You know, do I love spray guns? Hell yeah. You know, but that's besides the point. Like I said, it's just, these are realistic results. This is what you could expect from a garage paint job. And honestly, cut and buff, and you can make it look just as good as a professional did it. And I think that's what my channel is more about, is showing you that, yeah, you can get your results that you're looking for in a garage. It's gonna take a little bit more time, it's gonna take a little bit more effort, but you know, done properly, you can render some really badass results. And yeah, with that, that's gonna be it, guys. Hopefully this answered a bunch of your guys' questions. If you guys got any more, let me know. Comment section down below. If I can generate enough comments, then I would say, all right, I'll make another video to answer all those you know, remaining comments or anything like that. But for the most part, I mean, come on. Let's check out the results. This is the new hood we painted. That's the old hood. You tell me. What would you rather have?